Hello.
Woo! And welcome
Hello.
and welcome to House Rolls. We're a bunch of us nerds from coast to coast, play D&D, and bring you along for the ride with a lot of quirky, twisted, and homebrewed rules. But unfortunately, Nick will not be with us for tonight, at least for the present moment. So it'll be just us for now. We talked about the 4th of July coming up. Does anyone else this is the second take. Anybody have any holidays or anything coming up they can think of?
4th of July.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Something like that.
It's summer, man. I mean, the only holidays there are local ones.
True. All right. Well, with that, we will go ahead and dive right into session. Get some music started. So, it's been a couple weeks since we've played our primary campaign. So last time we had our primary campaign, let's see here. You all had made your way into the catacombs, or presumably so, underneath the city of Nirin, in the region Iraheen. As you dove deeper and deeper, you came across various undead creatures, some of which you were able to, using the term loosely, tame. And others you shot to death, quite literally. As you begin to travel down, you all had donned various bits of makeup, of arcane makeup that Christus seemed to have imbued for you all, that way you could at least pass to the regular eye as an undead creature, so that you might not be targeted, shall we say. Dealing with a little bit of trauma as it goes through, you all eventually find yourself in a cavern. You dealt with a carionet of sorts, a magical toy filled with an undead spirit that tried to subsequently take over one of you, which Orchid conducted a ritual to remove the soul aspect of that creature, and after all of that, you all find yourselves in that very same room. Orchid, the very last thing we had last session for you was you were in another sort of dreamscape, another visionscape, if you will, where the individual in front of you was addressing you, who apologized for a vague link to the construction and use of the enchantment bracelets that ended up ravaging Christy's mind before she became a ghost. So, with that all being said, go ahead and pump in some music here, and we'll continue on. As he says, "I'm sorry," what would you like to say in response?
I believe last time, when he said that, I said, "For what?"
Ah, that's right. It's complicated. And he just kind of walks down the hallway. Do you follow?
If I recall correctly, he was not anywhere near me.
Not physically.
Right?
Yeah.
This was a vision.
In a dream.
Yeah.
Does he indicate he wants me to follow?
I would say you're able to gather from the conversation that you've had before that he is indeed expecting you to follow if you want to find out more.
Okay, I will follow.
Okay. As you go down these hallways, it's very strange because normally in any given space, your senses of hearing and smell are very potent. They're very attuned, whereas it seems almost like at least smell is a non-existent experience you're having right now. As you go down this hallway, he leads you into a laboratory of certain sorts. There is a number of jars with different liquids. There's almost a sort of a chemical setup. There seems to be a little bowl, a small brazier of sorts that seems to be burning a flame. There's a little iron holder over top in order to prevent anything from going into the flame, but also letting it cook on that. There are a number of small boxes. The area itself is filled with a number of rags, very torn. This is not a necessarily well-kept space. This is where they were made.
Why?
For revenge. He just kind of blankly stares at the continuing line of like workbenches made of different colored woods, almost kind of hodgepodge together. You can see a number of dusts, certain metals and gemstones that have been crushed into fine and refined powders. There are a number of objects, trinkets almost, kind of off to the side in one of those crates. You can see a couple of bracelets, not dissimilar from the ones that you found on Christu.
On her.
More of a general target than specific. There's not much else I can do, but show you where at least you can prevent the creation of these devices.
Change your mind now.
Sorry?
Why change your mind now?
Let's say I'm not under the influence right now.
So, you made them for revenge under the influence of a mind control?
It's a little more complicated. Maybe under direction. For a cause.
And now that cause isn't important to you?
Not sure.
So, what do you want me to do?
You look like her. Same nose. But I figure if you can do this for me, then I can tell you where Chantria is. And you can see as he says this, there's this well of discomfort and kind of sadness that just washes over his face.
Do you know her?
We worked together for a time.
I don't remember you.
It was a short endeavor.
You don't seem like someone Chantrea would work with.
Fates work in mysterious ways. We had grown to be friends.
And you know where she is?
Yes. And better yet, if you free me, I can help you get her back.
Do you mean back?
Chantrea was the most adventurous of our group.
Sure.
There were a few of us. Had the most spirit. It was refreshing. And we failed quite terribly.
You're being real vague.
Look, I don't want to tell you too much because I have something at stake here. I'm happy to give you some information, but as much as it seems terrible, I have to slightly hold it over you to make sure you come through on your end. That's why I've been contacting you.
I don't believe you.
It's fair. Who would? Especially with these. Kind of points to his fangs.
You know, I don't give a shit about that. What I'm saying is, you haven't given me any reason to believe that you even know my sister.
Except that I know her name.
Wow. If you're from Chikan, it's not that hard.
I'm from here.
You could have been to Chikan. It's not that hard. I could go to Chikan right now.
Except that I know your name too.
Of course you wouldn't know my name. Everybody knows my name in Chikan.
Look, if you're not interested in helping, that's fine.
I'm just saying, I don't plan to be taken advantage of. You've given me no proof. All you know is me and my sister's name. Plenty of people in Chikan know our names. You could visit and know our names. It's not a state secret.
But it's a secret here. If you find the laboratory, you know what to do. And you find the vision kind of fading in front of you, or fading from you, rather. As you sink back into the room, you guys have heard Orchid say all these things. More so muttering than anything else, but in this space, you guys have heard, maybe not the other end of the conversation, but you've heard what she said.
We heard her talk about her sister and everything, vaguely.
Yes, very vaguely.
Orchid! Orchid! Orchid!
do you
You're
want?
muted. Oh,
Oh,
never
there we
mind.
go.
Oh, that was weird.
You were zoned out and speaking to yourself.
Something about your family?
Maybe I fell asleep?
You were standing up.
It could happen.
Are you all right? All good?
Hopefully it wasn't because of the cleansing ritual. A side effect, maybe.
Fine. It's more visions, I guess. Didn't realize I was talking out loud.
Visions?
Yeah,
Who?
they happen once in a blue moon. Figure I'm either insane or they're real.
Who were you talking to?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone who couldn't prove they weren't lying.
I guess that really doesn't narrow it down in this city.
No, they said they were the ones who made the bracelets. And if I destroyed their laboratory, they would tell me where my sister is, but couldn't prove to me that they even knew my sister.
That's an odd request. If they want the laboratory destroyed, why don't they just destroy it themselves?
I don't. They were extremely vague about a lot of things. Sounds
Could
like
be
they
a
were
trap.
trapped, maybe, or trying to lure us somewhere.
Well,
Perhaps.
do need to destroy the laboratory. We can't have people running around being mind controlled, especially in this city. Does no good for
That
anyone.
is.
I mean, if you want to trust some random bloke who came into my dreams and do what he says, feel free. think I know where it-
I'm not going to do it because some bloke told me to do it. I'm going to do it because it does need to be done. If it
All I
potentially
know is if
benefits
he's making them, and he wants them destroyed now, seems like something else.
What do you think, Wizard? I'll turn to our NPC friend.
Look, I spend my entire life in a cushy house, divining cards, orbs, and the like for my mistress. This is unfamiliar territory to me.
At the very least, before we may destroy it, it may have some useful information left behind. And maybe it may prove for you, Orchid, whether or not this person could be trusted.
Why is it
Do what they want.
why is it that he can't destroy it himself?
Smell? Sorry, he knocked down the trash can.
Oh, no, it's fine. Well,
Did he mention?
we
Did he mention what?
are we at least.
Why he couldn't destroy it himself?
No. Sounded like maybe he was unable to somehow. I don't know, it didn't make any sense.
And You don't know who he is, you don't know his name, you don't know anything about him.
No.
Interesting. Well, we are here, and we were searching for the bracelets anyway, so we might as well go at least find the lab.
That is true.
We can decide what to do with it after we do some digging.
A lab down here in this crypt. It's concerning. Yeah.
Ever since we went through that
How so?
wall, it's been concerning.
Oh, are you not used to the atmosphere yet?
I'll take you to it. Best I
No.
can.
Okay.
You know where it is?
Kind of. When the vision started, it was like I was going down all the hallways real fast to get there. And I think I kind of remember the direction.
Just lead the way. We can help you, obviously, with everything else.
I'll keep my electromagnetic sense activated and try to lead the way best I can between having seen it and then trying to navigate it without vision.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so with your staff at the ready, you emit your pulses to just kind of bounce off the cavern walls to kind of understand where you are and the things around you. With the immediate vicinity, go ahead and make a history check. See how your memory is on this.
3 15.
15. You begin down the way, leading the rest of the party along. You understand that there are things going on around you, and you can definitely hear critters. You can hear bats, for sure. Other things kind of crawling along the walls here and there. Louder bugs with little chirps and creaking sounds. The rest of you realize that the deeper into the cavern you go, the more present these creatures are, the greater they are in mass. Nothing seems to be particularly threatening about them, but they are there. Antoine kind of follows along warily. And then at one point, you're walking down this hallway and it kind of shifts. There are parts of the wall that look very clean, like you're going into a far cleaner cavern. As you do so, there are options to fork either left, right, or center. Which way do you go?
Do I have any indication of memory?
I would say the cleaner passage, the central passage, seems most familiar, based off of your 15.
Okay, I'll go down the middle way.
Okay.
Haru follows.
Excellent. As the rest of you make your way down this hallway, I need everybody to make a perception check.
Is it alright if I do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Don't fuck me, dice.
19.
17.
13.
9.
9. Okay. Orchid, was that an advantage?
Oh, no.
It was hearing.
17.
Okay. So all of you except Kadem hear slight humming. And as you continue down the hallway, the three of you that are looking in that direction kind of see a warm glow to the room. It's distant enough that you're sure no one within the room, if they are indeed there, would see you or perceive you, but that is something you all realize is there going forward. What do y'all do?
Are there any, like, taller stones or crevices where we could hide behind?
As you take a look around, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, that's feels bad, man. Natural one.
It almost seems as though this cave has been perfectly chiseled into a, like, direct square. In fact, as you're looking back, you now realize what lies behind you has slowly transitioned from a more natural cavern into something that is clearly very man-made, very altered.
What do you think we should do? Go through the light? Go towards
Oh, I thought we were already going down the... Isn't this already down the...
This is down the central passageway, yep.
As we've been going down already, right? We
Wait,
can't...
Is the light getting closer to us? Is what you're saying, or...?
Yeah, you're getting closer to it, but as you kind of, like, get to a point, you can see that there's a soft glow in a room in the distance. And you can hear slight humming.
Hold on. We wouldn't want to disturb something again. Can anyone make out what it is?
Disturbing, yes. You all hear as there's a voice that speaks in your mind.
Who's that? Who's that?
Paru will try to stealth forward a little bit to try to get a better look at the room inside to see if he can see someone.
Alright.
Would that be a stealth check?
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check here.
22.
22. Absolutely. As you make your way forward, just able to kind of hide amongst the side of the wall, despite the cavern not really lending itself to any abnormal structures, you do find yourself looking into the room, and you're able to make out what looks like a very rough kitchen-like room. Inside, you can see that there seems to be a small creature, maybe a halfling or a gnome, with extremely pale grayed skin. You can see they are wearing very, very little clothing, as most of their body is covered entirely tattoos that crawl across the neck and the shoulders, across the chest, the legs, every inch of them from head to toe. They are also wearing what looks to be a rainbow, very vibrant colored loincloth. They just seem to be making something.
Paru will... Shit. He's just going to look back at the party to see what they're doing. See if they're, like, trying to inch closer, or if anything is sneaking up behind them. Just trying to check on them.
You would see Kadem inching away to make sure he is in the back of the party.
Iklin will be looking for your approval since you moved forward.
Orchid doesn't
what would
even know
Orchid
you
be
went
doing?
anywhere.
Oh, okay.
We're just stopped.
You were pretty stealthy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
We have
Yeah,
stopped, and Orchid is just stopped and quiet because she assumes there's a reason.
Right.
But
That's fair.
her passive perception is not 22. So she did not know
That-
you left.
Okay, that's fair. Shit. Gosh, what? I'm trying to think of what Paro would do in this situation. This is tough.
You all hear the voice speak in your mind
And
again.
there's no one.
I can help. Perhaps with secrets. Something.
Is there anyone?
unknown.
Even though Paru's hearing this in his mind, he's going to kind of lean and just make sure that there's no one sneaking up behind the party.
Yep. Go ahead and make a
Is
perception
the
check.
hallway clear? Okay.
Caden will try to talk back to it telepathically, assuming it might have two-way telepathicness. So he's just gonna be like, "Can you hear me?" And he's just gonna say it in his head, trying to direct it at the voice that he's hearing.
Yes, speak more. Please.
Oh fuck!
Got a 9 perception.
What did you get for your perception?
9.
9. You look
Caden will
beyond the room.
just
Seems okay.
Caden will whisper to the party. It can hear you if you talk back in your head.
I can hear you now.
Where is it? Is it in front of us?
I think Paru sees it better than I do. I'm behind you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Paru hearing these telepathic responses? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, Lindsay.
You're good.
You do not hear. Like you hear you hear whatever is speaking to everyone. It does seem to contact you, but you can't hear like Caden.
Okay, so. Right, okay, yeah. Okay. Paru will just say very softly, "Is that you ahead of us?"
No. I'm more interested in you. Oh. Very different. Very different from other things here.
What is the thing in front of us if it's not you?
That's a secret. Perhaps a trade in secrets. Something no one knows about you. For the thing you are looking to pass. Yes?
Where are you?
I am neither here nor there. And yet everywhere.
This isn't what I was talking to.
No. Wasn't me. Your mind is most
I also wasn't talking to you then.
interesting.
Who is ahead of us?
No, you first.
How about a name? A
You
name
can-
for a name?
Yes. Most interesting. Name tell, do tell. Tell now.
Caden.
Kingdom. Boring name. Like the gentleman down the hall. Will'd you die?
What was that?
Will'd you die?
Wiljedon.
The eyeless.
That seems rude.
It's a title he gave himself.
Is he sleeping right now, or does he know we're there?
Nope. No
Yeah.
more secrets. Just one.
You can hear skittering beyond the walls. Almost like a small thud, like small thuds just kind of reverberating in the very, very squared off chamber.
I have a feeling
Well?
we may be hearing that voice again.
Shall we try to go through the eyeless, or should we just try a different path?
I could be wrong about which way was the right way.
Oh,
I don't think anything down here is friendly. Perhaps we should, you know.
I see no reason to second guess Orchid on this. Through?
Well, Paru is further away from the party. I don't think he's able to hear unless if you're calling down the corridor to him.
I guess we push on.
All right.
Get to Paru.
As you all make your way down Paru, eventually the rest join you. As you get closer and closer, the humming becomes a little stronger. As you enter the space, there is no change in the gnome's demeanor. There is a particular stench to him, Orchid, you notice. It smells almost like aged, some sort of perhaps aged wine. Something maybe a little fruity, but there's also like this essence of mold to it. It's like kind of just musty smell about him as well. You all enter the room. You're less than 10 feet away from him, and he just continues to cook. You can see now, those of you who are in the room can smell, or can see rather, that he seems to be working on some sort of curry. Combination of warm colored spices kind of are on the countertop. Orchid, you can very clearly smell this as well.
How fragile does his neck look?
He looks very fragile. He looks very scrawny. Very scrawny. Like borderline, perhaps malnourished.
Let's just go around.
Did you just say
Yeah,
that
is
out
there a
loud?
doorway out of this room?
You should say, let's go around out loud.
He whispered it to you.
Very rude. Come into my space. Walk through. Ignore me. The least you could have said was hello.
A lot
Hello?
of
We
things usually kill us when we say hello.
You seemed very focused on your task. We did not want to.
Oh yes, I just spend all my time down here alone. No living souls to eat with. I wouldn't want any company. Not whatsoever.
Well, if you chose to live down here, you really didn't pick a place for company.
I did not choose. Sorry.
Kind of like furiously bats.
Well, what is your name?
Ah. Pleasantries. My name is Wiljadan.
It is nice to meet you, Wiljadan. My name is Paru.
Well, sit. Sit. Enjoy some food. Like I said, I don't get much company.
We're
this-
actually in a hurry.
Are you? Perhaps I can intrigue you with knowledge. Do you wish to know about these caverns? Perhaps I can help.
I think we know the way. Goodbye.
I'd like to use ethereal sight, please.
Okay. You use it. There isn't anything there. However, I do need Paru, Kadem, and Iklin to make perception checks. As you are realizing, you're finding all these tattoos. They're all words you recognize in like a variety of different languages, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to the placement.
I think my dice
16
are
perception.
cursed.
14.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. As you look at these letters, Kadem, you can't make sense of them. None of them seem to be in any language you know. Paru, what was your roll?
16.
16. Well, give me a house roll.
D12. 2.
2. All right. You see the word encouraging, like written on there in Druidic.
Okay.
Iklin.
He points to the word that is encouraging.
Iklin, what was your roll?
14.
14. Will give me a house roll.
3.
3. You see the word hellish in Draconic.
No other words? That's the only one I recognize?
That's the only one you're able to identify.
Well, if you must get on your way, that's fine.
Why are you here?
It's a long story. Involves a
For a
hag
long story.
getting cursed. Is how it is.
Cursed.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you finding this food that you're cooking?
To be honest, I'm not always here. This space is flexible. It's not always. Well, it's not always where you are, but it's always where I am.
I'm just not sure how much food is safer to eat if there's a bunch of dead things that mill about here.
Why are we talking about food?
Listen,
I'm curious as to what he eats. And
Why
if we're
is
part
it
of that
relevant,
diet.
Paru? Can we go?
listen, maybe we should help this man in the way. You said your name was, what was it again?
Wiljadan.
Wiljadan. Would you like to escape?
No. Because it would mean the death of my brother. So,
So you want to keep your brother alive?
It's
Yes.
your brother.
What if I could tell you I could let you escape and keep your brother alive?
I don't know if you
seriously
should make
doubt
that promise.
Oh,
Not
I-
likely.
Who is
Is
your...
the lab further ahead?
The lab is further ahead, yes.
Are there any dangers between here and there that we should know of?
Not between here and what I know. No. Other than what you bring with you.
He kind of looks at Icklin.
Party looks at Icklin. What's as dangerous about him?
It's not the person, but what he carries.
Didn't you pick up a soul, Eglin? Is that what you're referencing?
Left unattended, it will destroy. But take it too far deep and it will destroy you.
it's in a jar. It is but a dwarf in a flask.
What do you suggest we do with it?
That's for you to find out. I assume there's some sort of holy water or a blessed pool you'll have access to.
No?
Is there anything you could give us and help us with? Otherwise, we need to continue on. Or something you'd like to offer in exchange.
He kind of walks around and grabs a few items off the counter and kind of throws them out into the space, and they all kind of settle. And you see that there's a blanket on the ground that he's set with very simple plateware. It says, "Should you eat?"
Are you going to finish that sentence?
No.
Should we eat?
Are you hungry?
No.
No. This place has a habit of taking your appetite away.
Wonderful. Hag sees to it that my misery continues.
If you don't mind my asking real quick, Kaden opens up a book real quick. Why are you known
please.
as the Eyeless?
You look at it, you've noticed, sorry, I should have described this, but as he turns around, his eyes are literally, gone. They're just
Oh.
black. Nothing there.
Oh.
Oh.
Nothing, not
Yeah.
not
Orchid
some
probably
shit,
doesn't know.
just completely
Caden's
sunken
asking
in.
for Orchid's sake.
Second, who is your brother that you've chosen, I guess, this existence to keep alive?
His name is Nujadon. He's a tea maker.
A tea maker?
We both have gifts when it comes to hospitality. We upset a hag. Now we have limitations to what we can do.
And how do you remove the limitations?
Kill the hag. Which I'm not guessing you're willing to do, so If you're not interested, I'm not interested. You can carry on your way.
Do you know the name of the hag? I might be interested.
I believe she goes by Elias. Monica
Elias.
Glass.
I'm sorry, what?
Monica Glass.
He's a hag.
Yes. I assume you're familiar.
Very.
Somewhat.
Wait,
She is one of Paru's lawyers.
Check.
Insight check.
Is he really telling me the truth?
Okay, yeah, go for it. You've definitely been listening too long.
Monica Glass isn't the newspaper person, right?
No, she
It
is.
is. It is.
She is. She is a
that's
newspaper
a-
person.
26.
A 26. Orchid, as best as you can tell, he seems to be telling the truth from his understanding. I would also say,
Okay.
based off of your feature, which gives you the ability to understand kind of people's emotions, you can tell there is a lot of turmoil in his voice in general.
Okay.
You from the Claw? Or are you from elsewhere?
No, I'm from the mountains, one of the many.
I have no problem killing Monica Glass. Anyone else?
No.
If she has the power to do this, I don't necessarily have reservations against killing her, no, but I don't think we should do it right now either.
Just
When should we do it? Kid him.
If she can bind a soul down here,
When should we do it, Caden?
I don't know. I don't have the answer for that, but if she can bind a soul to a place that if he ever leaves, his
said ever
brother
gonna
instantly
change?
die.
Is that ever going to change? So we're just
No.
going to wait until she can bind more souls.
And
We
think
could
about
learn
this.
more about her before we decide a course of action.
She is one of the most influential people in the entire city. She is nothing but a witch, using her charms to
And her
Which-
very powerful magic.
I'd like
Yes.
to know why she was defending me.
Obviously,
good-
something to her benefit.
Right.
She's crafty, she makes deals. She is more than likely, in some way, controls at least some section of the town.
How about this? We will discuss killing her. For you, we'll put it on our list of things that we can take care of. And it's a fairly high thing on the list. Not many of us like Monica Glass, so we
Wait.
should
So
have
you've got a list.
wait. You're willing to do this?
I believe that's what the conversation just was, yes.
It's at least piqued our interest, yes.
Should you succeed, I shall find you and reward you most handsomely.
I don't need your reward.
Well,
What more can you tell us about her? Such as, if she's some kind of hag, does she... I'm
She
not sure
hates
how
the
much
day.
part with... She hates the day. Does she know about these bracelets? Is she part of the lab? Did she help create them?
She has fingers in a number of issues. I know not which.
How long have you been down? How long have you been subject to this curse?
I stopped counting. And you look over at the wall, and it's just tally mark after tally mark.
do you take time to try and figure out how many it is?
I'll do like a rough estimate. Like I'll be like, okay, this many tally marks, this many rows down, kind of get a rough idea of how
Make
many
an
there
investigation check.
are. At advantage.
Yep.
Natural 20
Natural
for 27.
20.
You're
You're like,
one of those.
you're one of those people that Kadam. This fits Kadam so well, but it's like when somebody dumps out like a whole jar of toothpicks, you're able to look at them and know how many they are. That's this moment for you, Kadam. You look at the wall. It seems like there are over 2,000 tally marks, 2,247 to be exact.
He's been down here for 2,247 minutes.
2,247.
At least. Well, I think our conversation is more than likely concluded. We need to hurry on our way, but should you be free soon, I'm sure we'll be seeing you.
Thank you for the information.
It's at this point that this all concludes, and you guys begin walking out, that you realize, Maximilian has not entered. Maximilian is outside of the space, like right where kind of the threshold of like where it's all like kind of squared off, and he's on the ground like reading tarot cards and has a spirit board that he's, or tarot cards I should clarify, and a spirit board that he's consulting.
Are you coming with us?
Are you consulting to see if what he says is true?
No, I just feel very uncomfortable in that space. If you all wouldn't mind coming back here, I think things would be really wonderful.
I mage his hand and slap him behind the head.
Okay, do you slap his head like into the space? Like, do you try to push him in?
I slap him from behind, so it kind of pushes him forward a little bit.
His head hits, like, his head looks like it hits like a wall and it presses. And you can see that there's like a mark that begins to burn, some sort of sigil that burns on his forehead, and kind of leans back.
That was uncalled for.
Iglin stomps towards him, grabs his neck by the back of the neck.
Please don't.
What did the mark look like?
Leave him.
As you look at the mark, it seems complicated. It's got numerous lines and patterns, very flowy and flourishy in bits. And the more you look at it, the more it just seems to like embellish itself. It looks more complex and just begins to take your attention.
What? Who is your mistress?
My mistress.
Nyara.
Thank
No.
you. She knows what's up.
Why are you prevented from
Insight
entering
check.
this space on pain of death?
Dang it.
Tatum?
One suffers for the sins of their parents.
You suffer for the sins of your parents.
To some degree.
Why does that prevent you from entering here, though?
No, I think it's fine. I was concerned, but if this is a bloodline issue, I understand, and I'll drop him.
Thank you.
We will return.
Or we find our way out through this way and you're left alone here.
Just leave him.
I should be able to catch up with you. This is temporary.
And kind of points towards the whole area.
If you say so.
Let's continue.
He certainly seems to know more about this than he's letting on.
I have theories about that.
And if we dwell on theories and not what is the path before us, we will never move anywhere in our lives. You think too much, you'll be no good in the world.
All right.
I think you know that I do not think too much.
All right.
We press on.
Yeah.
All right. You guys continue past, and almost as soon as you leave the more structured, carved out square cavern, you kind of look back, and you can see Maximilian is not but maybe 10 feet from you, as the cavern that was natural is just kind of there. Says, right. And kind of steps forward hesitantly to rejoin you.
Look at that.
As you guys make your way forward, you continue to see the bugs and the other creatures kind of come back into purview. I need Kadem to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Not great. 13?
You feel like you're seeing everything right now. Like you're observing, you're feeling, you're touching everything. And as you're kind of looking around, you feel like you've connected with these insects, these creatures that are crawling around the wall, almost on a mental level.
Oh, that bizarre. Oh wow, that feels terrible. Okay, okay, that's. I do
What's
not like
wrong?
that feeling. I do not like that at all. I
Are you
feel
okay?
as. It feels like all the spiders and bugs and everything are crawling on my skin. Like I can feel each one moving its own leg.
I still have ethereal
Fair.
vision on, right?
You do. As you're looking with this ethereal sight around the walls, you notice that he seems to be talking about these bugs. There are multiple creatures, just kind of like imagine like praying mantises, but with like really multiple joints along their limbs, with like almost suction cup feet that just kind of are attached to the wall, that are kind of far larger than anything else, that are just kind of leaning over Caden and watching him. There's 3 large ones, and then there seems to be one that's just kind of wrapped around him, like a piggyback.
I turn my hand into a claw, and I suck the heat out of the air, making it frosty, and I swipe at this thing on his back.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Is this something that can be felt within like a radius?
Yes, I would say, yeah, you can kind of sense them. It's more like
No, I meant the frostiness.
Oh, the frostiness?
Oh,
Yes.
it's cold.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you're within about 5 feet, you would tell that the temperature has changed around it, Glenn.
Yeah, Paru's gonna stop once he feels it get really, really cold too.
8 to hit.
8 to hit. You reach
What
out.
target?
You reach out, and as you try to grasp the creature, maybe a little bit more gently, the creature just kind of shifts, and you hear this like just almost gaily breath-like sound escape the creature as it moves.
Is it off of him?
No, it just shifted its position. Now it's like kind of hovering on the side instead of the back.
Try again.
Iklin, what are you doing?
Don't freak out.
Uh,
23.
23. You make your attack. As you contact it, go ahead and deal your damage.
Um, 5 frost damage, ice damage.
Okay. As you reach out, you make contact with these creatures, and immediately the insect-like creature on Kadem just vanishes in smoke. However, you see that where you've pressed the creature in, there's also like an icy imprint on Kadem. Kadem, you take the same damage.
Of how much?
5.
5. There are ethereal creatures around us, and one was wrapped around your body.
Whose body?
They're not anymore, are they?
Caden. There was one, and I count 3 more. Looking at Caden.
At hearing Iklin mention that they're ethereal creatures, Paru will in turn also activate his ethereal sight.
Okay. You see the same creatures, the two kind of posted on the wall. Kadem, do you have Sirocco out right now? You don't.
I do not.
Yeah. Okay. They're just kind of posted above. Paru, you having a little bit more time to examine these creatures, there is a combination of flesh and carapace and feather and just weird it's a weird anomaly. It's a combination of different creatures. There's almost like some fur at different points too. And as you look into its eyes, it has like 5 that are just placed irregularly on what must be the head.
So they seem to be some amalgamation of just every type of creature or creature imagined from just different classes, whether it's some kind of mammal or reptilian,
Yes.
insect.
They've
Okay.
got parts on their torso that exemplify that, but at their core, they seem most insect-like. They aren't really doing anything, just chilling.
Let's move forward and see if they follow.
Yeah.
The two of you with ethereal sight. Actually, as you go through, now that you've pointed them out, all of you can hear slight as their legs for the two of you that can see these creatures kind of just disconnecting from the wall as they crawl. Their legs just seem to change in size and length to accommodate whatever speed you all are going.
So they are following us.
They are following you. More obviously following Kadem.
Following Kadem. Actually, Paru is going to use his magical item to cast what is it? Where is
Speak with
it?
animals?
Speak with animals.
Okay.
Yes.
As you, and I forget, is it a buckle or a buckler?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
buckle.
a belt buckle.
As
Yeah,
you,
so it kind of just radiates.
excellent. Do you want to describe the spellcast for us?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so Paru, as he's looking up at these weird creatures that have formed, he's focusing his gaze on one of them. And as he's doing so, he just takes in these very deep and steady breaths, and the belt buckle that's a stone buckle in the shape of a crescent moon, it just starts glowing, and for a moment it almost seems to, as it glows, it creates a full moon and then kind of dims again back into the crescent shape that it usually has.
Okay.
But, Paru, what does it sound like?
Sorry for the vision impaired, you hear the
For the visually challenged.
yes, for the vision impaired, visually challenged. Basically, you would hear that as he's breathing very steadily, but as he's doing so, his heartbeat gets very loud, as if he is trying to have this emotional connection with this creature. So you hear his heartbeat, but it's not racing or anything. It's just steady with this unusual calm behind it. There may be a slight hum as the belt buckle becomes a full moon and then wanes, but it doesn't remain that way.
Okay. What do you say, Paru?
Where are you from?
From Paru, the rest of you hear.
I don't like it.
As the creatures respond in a very, very similar sound, the rest of you hear.
Him. Friend, master. We must serve.
Who's your master?
They both just kind of look at Caden.
Why is he your master?
Told so. Told, yes. He is our master. Just doesn't know yet.
Were you created here?
Created.
They seem to get very confused at the idea of being created.
Just are.
Do you mean to harm us?
Never.
One of them says,
Friend, talk.
and just begins to pull off the suction cup legs and attaches to you on your back.
Good friend, not master.
Yes, I will be your friend, so long as you do not mean us harm.
You're muted, Mike.
Sorry, I look at Paru seeing it attach itself to its back. Looking at you, eye contact, trying to get some sort of, like, are you okay?
Yeah, Haru, he fixed his gaze on the one who is talking to him. He kind of has to stare directly at the one that he is trying to communicate with. So you see him kind of shift his head to each one as they talk to him. And he turns to... And he does have occasional glances, I should say this, especially as he's talking about Kaden being the master. So, yeah, Paru would be like, oh, he's the master kind of thing. So he is looking over. There is a bit of confusion, but there is no sense of alarm, or he's not showing any sense that he feels that he's in danger.
As this is happening here, bring back, bring him back. And they both just are kind of talking at each other. And as they do so, they kind of suction cup together. And as they like pull, you can see from the suction cup, it begins to split and enlarge. And the third one just slowly comes out, kind of like a breaking out of a cocoon. Attaches to the wall where the one previously was.
Yes, my apologies that we took a swipe at you. We didn't know who you were, but please know we mean you no harm.
They just look at you and in unison say, "Great."
Can you tell us what's ahead?
They all kind of look to Caden.
We listen to master.
Your master cannot understand you. So if you want to keep your master safe, you will tell us the information we need.
He can ask us. even if he can't hear us.
Or he says, he's looking at one, but his eyes kind of shift over to Kadem, and he says, Kadem, these creatures are calling you their master, and you can ask questions, but they won't give you any more information.
Tell him we watch for him.
They watch for you.
Okay. Is there anything down the tunnel further that we should be looking out for?
Ask him, does he want us to check? Tell him to tell us to check. We eagerly serve.
Kadem, could you please tell them to check?
Yes, go check down the tunnel.
You hear like the skittering noises and suction sounds as they walk down.
How the hell did I become the master of insects? What the hell? This makes no sense to me.
Okay, can somebody clarify for me? What the fuck is happening?
Invisible ghost things. Apparently
Okay.
like this. Apparently like Kadem. And he's now a master or something. Apparently, whatever Paru said.
Yes. These three creatures, they're some kind of spirits of just a mix of different types of animals from the animal kingdom, whether they're insects or mammals, reptiles. You think of it, there's a part of them there. There are three of them, and they have identified Kadem as their master because he has an old soul.
Old soul.
And Kadem,
Okay, so what are we doing?
I'm talking to them.
I think I sent
Well, I
them
was
down
hoping.
I think I sent them down the tunnel to check just to make sure there's nothing there to hurt us. And I guess we just wait for them to come back. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
trust them, to be honest.
Well, my vision will be fading soon, so it's going to be up to...
At this point,
Paru.
Iklin, I will say your vision does fade before they return, so it'll be Paru who can only see them when they do.
Well, I can no longer see them when they come back, so Paru, it's up to you for the next amount of time.
Orchid, you hear whispering from Iklin's direction. Help. Free.
Because I don't know that your mic is picking everything up.
Free.
Free.
Help. Free and help, it is saying.
From Iklin.
From Iklin, yeah. Just his general area.
Iklin, is there something around you?
No?
Paru,
Something around you is talking.
is something near Iklin?
Is it... Oh.
Yeah, we'll look over to
Wait, what did it say?
because
You look over at Iklin. There doesn't seem to be anything there that you're catching.
What did it say? Orchid.
Free and help?
Oh,
And was that in crits?
Yeah, best as you can understand. Now that you think back, it doesn't... It almost like it feels like it was a non-language. More
Okay.
a generic feeling than anything else.
oh, I bet it's probably just this guy, and I'll pull out the dark spirit in the jar.
You hear this screech orchid that just is enraged at the touch of Iklin. And you find it just overbearing. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, not great. 10.
Okay. It calls to you. It calls to you. You want so badly to be a part of it.
Part of it?
Or maybe make it a part of you.
Ari will turn his gaze back down the hallway towards waiting for the creatures to come back.
Okay. You do so?
Iklin, can I have the jaw thing?
No.
Iklin, I need
Iklin,
you
give
to...
me the jaw.
What'd you say?
So give me the jaw.
No.
You feel the
I-
attention shift from you, Orchid. Michael, or Iklin, make a wisdom saving throw.
$21.
21? Okay. You feel it try to press in on you to let her take me.
Oh! Ah! Alright. Yes, I see what's going on here. No, you're going back in the satchel.
The grip
What
on
just
you
happened?
weakens, Orchid.
Yes, so it just tried to play with my head. I assume it's playing with yours.
If that's going to get worse, like the other guys said, there's probably some things that should probably be left in a catacomb.
Perhaps. Or I could put a jar inside of the jar, and I'll take out a bigger jar and put the jar inside of that jar and put a lid in that jar. Then I'll put it back in the satchel.
Throw it back in the satchel.
Actually, does anyone have any animal skins or wrappings?
Only carry what I
Animal skins or wrappings?
Notice, like,
Not
just
on
from
me.
Caden's pack, you probably noticed, like, he's got a couple extra pairs of, like, clothes, basically, like maybe a couple extra shirts or something. But he's not offering them.
Ugh. No fabrics.
I mean, I have some shirts that I'm not wearing right now, but I
Oh.
still don't think.
Great.
No,
No?
no.
Wait, do we have any of that holy water left?
We never had any holy water.
No, we made some during the ritual, right?
Well, it's not really holy, it was just part of the exorcism. It wasn't really.
It kind of, I think, got used.
At this point, you hear the as the creature
Oh,
comes
I don't
back.
like that sound.
As they return, they all kind of come over, and then they look all to you, Paru. You can see they all kind of like pose, like in front of Kadim, waiting.
Aru says to Kadem, they look like they're ready to report to you.
What did you find?
Tell Master to accept our service.
Accept us, they all kind of say in unison.
They are asking you to accept their service.
No? Why do I need to accept their service if they already provided the service for me? I'm confused.
Did you say no to them? Did you? Was that the first thing you said?
Yeah,
Sounded like a
it
no.
was.
I just wanted clarity. Okay. As you
It
say
wasn't
no, they begin to look to you, Paru, as though they are heaving. They almost seem to be convulsing and twitching in different parts. And then they all just kind of crawl into the ground. And you can hear what sounds almost like these horrendous whimpers from these creatures as they crawl out of sight.
You made them sad.
What's going on here?
Maybe not.
Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Let's just go forward. And get away from the bug animal things, please.
I'm pretty sure that if they want to, they will find you again.
In the meantime, I'll take my satchel and I'll put it in my backpack and provide more layers.
You are going out of character. You are going to kill yourself with that thing.
No, this is very
probably.
much in character for reasons you don't understand.
Oh no, it's in character for you, but I'm still saying out of character. It is going to kill you.
It might kill me, but it might be worth it.
Sure. So, you all are sitting there. I assume you continue on without the benefit of what they've said is ahead.
Yep, I guess so.
Anyone else feel like Cal has continually tried to make us make deals with random things this entire session?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's almost like
I tell him I want a warlock.
It's almost like he wants us to wish upon a star and have random abilities happen. Hashtag watch the Neverwhere campaign.
Never. It was a good episode. It was a good time. All right. You all continue to make your way forward. The bugs and the critters seem to diminish in their volume. As you do so, eventually it stretches out into what seems to be the laboratory that you or could remember. For the rest of you, if you don't recall the description from earlier, there are numerous vials supported by various different stands. There seems to be a brazier that is currently lit, and there is actually there's a number of workbenches, powdered dust of various different gems and metals. There's a chest of trinkets, and I need everybody to give me a perception check. Orchid, yes, this includes you.
Perception or investigation? Just out of curiosity.
You can make well, if you want to do something other than perception, that's fine. This is for something that is more to do with the room.
Perception it is.
Okay.
23.
15.
24.
Okay.
12. I think. Yeah, 12.
Paru and Orchid, your attention particularly shifts to a tapestry that seems to be hanging on the wall, and you can see that there seems to be something behind it. For you, Orchid, you can hear the fluttering. You can hear almost like footsteps behind, or just off to the right.
I'll go there and feel around.
Okay.
Haru will follow her.
Both of you make your way over. Orchid, do you pull back the tapestry?
If I feel the tapestry, yes.
Perfect. You do interact with it, and you pull it back. Immediately, using your electromagnetic sense, you can sense the body of somebody who at least is very similar to the person in your visions. Haru, in front of you, you see what looks to be a human man with exceptionally pale skin. Ah, yes. This is the individual that tried to eat you. You can see the fangs and the blood. He's just kind of sitting there, though. Like, he's standing there catatonic, like a statue. Like, there's no real amount of life to him.
Haru will describe the person that he sees in front of him to Orchid. This looks like some human with some very sharp teeth, very pale skin. Except he's not moving. But does this description sound familiar?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Why is he... Haru will kind of wave his hand in front of his face, just to see if he blink. Are his eyes closed, or are they open, or...
They're open, glazed over as hell.
Iklin, you seem to be a master of medicine, it would seem. You want to take a look at him while I take a look at maybe his arcane research?
I think I'll look at the research. You can look at him.
I'm not skilled in medicine.
Well,
You should take a look at him.
It's unfortunate for you. I'm going to go look at these vials.
Can Haru... I mean, it sounds like a vampire, but I don't want to, like, metagame. Can Haru identify what kind of creature it is?
It's pretty clearly a vampire.
Okay.
Or something vampiric, at the very
Something
least.
vampiric,
I would
okay.
say, all of you, I would say, actually, this would be more a, let's go with a religion check, I think would be adaptable for this. Anyone in the party can, or, yeah.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Heyo!
Don't even need a roll.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on,
got a four.
plus.
Okay.
Plus 4, so
Okay.
24.
24. Haru, you're able to identify that this is a vampiric creature of nature. Orchid, even though you can't see, even the smell, like you remember reading a long time ago that the different stages of vampirism almost. There is a number of different ways that vampirism infects the body, and it expresses itself different depending on the individual. You aren't familiar with maybe the scientific aspects, but from a religious standpoint, you understand that there is a... Let me see here. I believe it's Isla. But you know that there is at least the understanding of an evil deity with which this vampirism originates from. And as such, you are able to identify that this person, you're able to identify a lot actually from this. This person was turned a very short time ago, probably within the last year. Maybe year and a half. You also can identify that this is an early stage, at the very least. This is not a severe condition yet.
This person tried to eat me as a mole when I went underground.
It is a vampire, so not.
It's a
not
what?
talking.
It's a what?
A vampire?
Oh! Yes, I will look at him medically. Kadam, I would like you to take all the notes for me, please. Thank you. Very well. I'll go up and I'll go look at the vampire. I'll get nice and close to it.
Yeah,
I
Haru
will-
will let him do his work.
I will take a look at all the research and everything that's on here.
First, I'll poke it.
You poke the vampire.
Yes.
Okay. You poke it. The flesh slightly gives way, kind of like cracks, and then almost kind of restores.
I'll look up, see if there's any movement, any eye movement, any twitching of the body.
There seems to be no twitching. Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you're doing this.
13.
Okay. As you as you are looking over this vampiric creature, you identify that there seems to be like a brick out of place in the wall behind him.
Kind of leaning past it, I'll push the brick.
And you can see that the ground below you all of a sudden begins to shift. There is almost a circle indentation where it just begins to rotate. And you all have enough time to react here if you would like to dive onto this semi-sphere as it rotates into the wall.
I think Caden's a little too far away to do it.
Yeah, Paru moved out of the way to give Icklin space.
I think it's probably just Icklin.
Okay.
Might be Orchid too, since she's right there. If you remove the tapestry.
All right. Yeah, you are. So no, we'll say no one goes in. We'll say no one goes in.
So it's just me.
So it's just Icklin.
Sorry.
We can retcon that if we need to when she gets back. But as you are rocked to the other side, it seems like a very, very long hallway. It just stretches, and it goes deeper, exceptionally deep.
I'll look back at this vampire figure. I'll take out a syringe
Okay.
and I'll stab it in
Okay.
the arm.
I assume you are taking a sample.
I am taking blood, yes.
Okay. You stab the blood in, and much like the skin atop, the blood that you pull is like white. And it is lighter. It's not viscous. There's like there's a thinness to this liquid that almost borders on maybe air the way it behaves. You have it sucked into your syringe, and it behaves as liquid would otherwise, but
Okay, I'm gonna put this in my inventory. What should I name it for your reference?
Go ahead and call this say vampiric
Essence.
serum, vampiric serum 1, we'll say.
You want to tell Orchid what happened?
So he
Heard
found
everything.
Okay. Oh
You
yeah,
heard
that's
everything?
right.
Okay.
I just had to feed the cats. They were trying to pound down the door.
For sure.
Oh.
But I heard everything.
Cool.
'Kay.
Do you join Icklin through the door or
No.
Okay. You step back. Icklin, you're left there.
All right, I'll push the brick again. If
Okay.
there's a brick still, is there still a brick?
The brick is still there. You
Great,
push the
push
brick.
the brick.
You push the brick. Go. Nothing.
Bill,
Make a wisdom
Just-
saving throw.
this could be a problem.
Your spirit's gonna try to possess you now.
7.
7. Hold me.
I hug the statue.
You feel this slight bit of rage come from your pack. You feel very, very inclined, and you do indeed pull out the jar. You take the first lid off the jar.
No!
Make another wisdom saving throw.
No! It was
I
in a
should have
sack-
used.
It was in a
I should have
backpack. It was in a
used that
satchel.
sucker
It was in a
shot.
jar inside of another jar. All right. I'm using my inspiration for this
Oh
save.
my gosh.
Told you this thing was gonna kill you.
11.
11. The black mass just begins to crawl across your body. Your mind returns to normal.
All right. Anyone else thinking Hexus from Ferngully? Because I'm definitely thinking Hexus from Ferngully.
I do not understand that reference.
Tim Curry. Just don't even get me started.
Oh man. All right.
New orders, boys.
So you're back to normal.
Why do you do
You're
this,
back
Al?
to normal.
Why do you do this to me? You just wanted one of us to be possessed. One of us.
You guys kept it on you.
I kept it on me.
You kept it on you. You brought this on yourself.
Am I aware of what I just did?
You recall holding the jar. You don't recall opening it, but as you look down and you look at it, that it's open, you realize it must have escaped. Where to, you don't know.
I'm just gonna be, oh crap. Push the brick button again.
This time it's a little bit louder, and everybody on the opposite side, you can kind of hear this as like whatever machine or device that rotated the door before is not working.
What's
Well, this was.
something?
Say that again, Lindsay.
I said, what's happening? I hear something.
I guess before I jump to doing that, Cal, can I, well, Mike had all that going on with him. Could I have made an investigation check on the notes and everything that was on the workbench?
Let's give you an investigation check. Anything specific you are looking for?
Not overly. Probably anything. Probably he would care more for anything if it had anything to do with the bracelet making.
Okay.
He'd care about that.
Okay.
Iklin did ask you to take all the notes.
Well, I understand that what you asked me for.
No, I get that. I'm just reminding you.
I understand what you've asked me for. Second.
It doesn't stop you from taking the things I want.
I will use my ethereal touch, and I will gain advantage on all my investigation and perception checks.
Okay.
Use that.
Oh, sorry about that.
You wait. You do. Is this your ethereal touched ability?
Yes.
Okay. As you do so, you begin to hear as I guess no one has their ethereal sight right now, but you hear 3 flying creatures just around you. Just seem to like emerge from the wall. And you do feel as though your senses are broadened.
God. These guys are stuck with me. Oh no. Okay. Reroll that. That's better. 13.
13 investigation.
Yep.
Besides what is readily available, there are a couple of interesting liquids. We'll say, we'll call them serums 1, 2, and 3. There are a number of gem dusts. There's gold dust, metallic dust. It's not much. I mean, pretty much everything that there is, you can assign value to a lot of this. Like immediately, like it's hard for you to really like sift through and like figure out anything other than the notes, which probably provide some sort of instruction. However, looking at those notes, even glancing through them, you don't understand the language that they're in. Okay, actually, hold on. You don't understand the language that they're in, but you do understand that they are in Arcan because you have studied magic. Forgot that you are pretty practiced, so.
They are in what? Draconic?
They are in Arcan. A-R-C-E-N,
Arcan.
which is the language of
Arcan.
magic.
Gotcha. Okay. Serum 1, 2, and 3. And then did I have dust that you said I just basically could equate straight to gold?
Yeah, there's a lot of valuable dust here. Like, you're looking at this and you clearly understanding this stuff has monetary value, but is also very, very common in the use of constructing enchanted items. So you would reckon it's been used largely as such.
Okay. I will take all the variously assorted dusts.
Okay. Do you keep it organized in any way, or do you just kind of put it
Are
all
they
in
just
one
lying loosely about?
Yeah,
right
they're like
now?
in like organized piles, if you will.
Oh, I see.
And actually, as you take a look, you can realize there's a sigil that each of these dusts form. Like there is some sort of mechanical organization to what is on this work table.
Okay. See here.
Caden, what do you have?
I'm trying
It's,
to loot this place.
Well,
You're looting?
it's just taking some dust and everything. It's just some notes.
Why? Notes.
notes.
Why?
They were the notes and the means that they used to create the bracelets. Obviously, we shouldn't be leaving these things here to be left lying around.
And then you're just gonna take them?
Well, I'm certainly not going to be making the bracelets with them, and they're useful, so why not?
Why not destroy the notes?
Yeah, we need to destroy the notes.
Iglin is internally screaming.
Iklin, you can barely hear this conversation on the other side.
Oh, I can hear it!
Just barely.
Jumping on the button.
You're
Destroy the notes, Caden.
Isn't that why we're here?
He just kind of looks at the notes, and Kadam is going to take a minute and do his best to memorize the notes into his mind for a second.
okay.
Using his feature.
This is a fully this is a thick stack of notes.
This is a thick stack.
This is
Okay.
not like it's scattered about. You've like pushed it all into a
It's
pile.
not a shopping
but
list.
it's not like oh, let's look at this really easy enchantment map. Yay! I remember it. You can. I would say if you want, I will let you roll a D100, and you will memorize that page.
I will memorize that page. Okay.
Hold
He
on.
remembers the one page to like put it all together to make it happen.
I will let you choose between. Hold on, let me find my tables.
When he hesitates, I hit him.
You cause disadvantage. So regular roll. So it'll be a regular roll because he does have advantage. All right.
May I roll damage?
Yeah, yeah, you can go ahead and roll damage.
God,
I should probably roll an attack roll.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, let's roll the attack roll.
That'd be hilarious
Oh, yeah,
if we
you
knocked
guys
him
are
unconscious.
Just took 5 damage earlier.
Orchid hurts.
Because I have my magnetic sense on, I get advantage.
Yes, you do.
So that's a 20 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Oh, there's one. That's 7 lightning. I hit you.
That's all the damage?
Yes.
7 lightning damage. Yep.
God,
Bevo, no! Sorry.
I am barely
I'm
standing.
done drawing.
All right.
You've taken 12 damage this session.
I have 15 hit points and I was already down 1 hit point.
You have 15 hit points.
Okay. What's your D100?
Jeez.
Oh, maybe I didn't roll HP for the last couple.
I don't think you rolled HP.
Yeah, probably didn't
dude.
roll HP.
We're level 4. You better
Yeah,
not have
I think
15
I
hit
might be on
points.
level 2 HP yet.
Yeah. How do you have 15 hit points at level 4?
Alright.
Really bad rolls.
Yeah, like
And 5.
yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing here again, Cal?
So you took damage. You have disadvantage on the investigation check to remember. But
Okay.
I need you to roll a d100.
Okay, the D100 I rolled was 23.
Okay. Oh shit.
You memorize the page on how to make arcane cannons.
I also need a house roll from you
Ooh.
because I realized I have multiple. And you said it was
A
20.
3.
Okay, a 3, and it was a 27.
23.
3. Okay. Shit. Okay, object or scroll?
Oh. Object.
Object. You memorize the page to construct a broom of flying, and do so well enough that you think you can create this magic item with the proper components, which will require 50 gold's worth of items.
Okay. Let me write that down in my notes.
Oh, heck yeah! Broom squad, pull up!
Using my staff to destroy everything that it can reach.
All right. Yeah, as Orchid, as you go around just crackling the staff phasing through the workbenches, you guys watch as the lightning begins to singe everything, clatters and crashes of vials as they spatter to the floor. You can hear sizzling as the brazier of fire is tossed onto the floor, the ashes just spread out. Everything in a very short amount of time is just in absolute ruin. It is at
Are
this
there
time.
bracelets still here?
There are
that are-
bracelets still here.
Okay. Paru will try to throw them inside the brazier, just to see if that will.
You mean the brazier?
I don't know why I said brazier. Brazier.
Is
Sorry.
brazier correct, or have I been saying that wrong?
Brazier is correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brazier is a bra.
Yeah, I don't know. Why I said.
There
Yeah.
is a brazier and a brazier.
Yeah, I meant brazier. I meant brazier. Yes. So inside the brazier.
Glenn is internally crying.
I'm crying a little bit.
All right, you throw a number of the trinkets in. There are a number of trinkets. At a quick glance, they seem mundane, that you can keep. It seems like there's a chest that's more of the stuff that's been enchanted, and a chest of things that, a chest of things that have yet to be enchanted, if that makes sense. And if
Paru's
you,
not taking any chances.
excellent. Do you all have since I don't think you all started off with a trinket, so at this point, if you all would like to roll a d100, and I will trust you all to get the proper trinket, and I'll send you a link to that page. But if you would like,
No, I'm not taking anything.
fair enough.
I'm not in the room.
True.
If it is within my grasp, I'm destroying it.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Paru's throwing it in the fire. Brazier, whatever. Anything where there's explosions that could cause damage, Paru is trying to destroy it.
Okay.
And if anyone gets within my way, they're getting hit too.
Okay.
But not Paru, because I know Paru's also destroying it, because I can hear him.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you guys are just tearing things apart. Paru, how? I know we have Orchid with her staff. Paru, how are you destroying things around you? Like, what elements are you using?
He's just trying to use the components of the labs against each other, just trying to,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
just wherever there's fire and there are things that, destruction that Orchid is causing by knocking potions and vials over, and where there's probably some acid,
Yeah.
Paru's just like, okay, yeah, you can be destroyed amongst everything else, so
Give me
he's been pretty discriminate.
a general wisdom check.
loud explosion. Everyone dies except Orchid, who is safe behind the stone wall. I mean,
You mean Icklin?
yeah.
I don't think any of us are saying what we want to say today. 7 wisdom.
7 wisdom. You create a few duds as you're like experimenting, but finally you find yourself thinking these two, and you have like a bright purple and a kind of dull green liquid that as soon as you pour it together just creates this like liquid purple flame that just erupts on the ground. It just begins to spread even across the stone. Doesn't singe the stone, but it just travels around, and it just continues to grow and grow. I need everybody to make a Constitution save in the room. The sweltering heat just
Good
begins
con is
to
not in there.
mess with you.
I think that's an
Shield is
11.
not in the room.
17.
17?
11.
11? Kadem?
Working on that. 7.
7. Okay. Awesome.
Kadem is unconscious.
I'm going to actually just take a second here and roll for my hit dice real quick, so that way I'm actually at the right level.
I don't think you can roll for your hit dice unless it's a short rest. Oh, wait, you're rolling for
No,
levels.
he's
Okay,
in the
that's
wrong
right.
level.
Okay, so it's a DC 10. It's not a lot, so you guys are able to stave off the effects. However, the fire is spreading, and it is consuming, but it is not consuming and then diminishing. There is something very different about this disastrous fire. Even you, Orchid, with your attunement to certain aspects of nature, though you can't see it, there's something that feels very, very wrong about this.
So, like, it's absorbing objects and there's no dust or ash?
Yeah.
It's not dwindling.
Yeah, it's not dwindling. It's just consuming and getting bigger.
Really quick, did Kadem throw the book into the fire?
No, Orchid did that. I only got to take a page.
I think Orchid swatted all the papers, I imagine, out of the air with like a lightning brush, just shh.
And I just got
Smash.
1 page.
Oh, I destroyed every piece of paper I could get my hands on.
Right.
Well, I memorized a page.
Right, I'm saying
Yeah.
I destroyed every piece of paper I could get my hands on.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you do so, as everything begins to clear away, you guys see that there's this orb that just kind of reveals itself behind the workbenches and everything. Those of you, let's have the 3 of you make an Arcana check here.
Oh,
Katie, you have
Surprisingly good.
advantage.
7.
21.
21.
With how I've been rolling, I need it. 21 as well.
Okay, the 2 of you are able to sense the magic that is just being given off by this, and it seems to be an amplification device more than anything else. You do sense something separate, though, something that it is channeling as some sort of enchantment-like magical effect.
Kadem's gonna mage hand
Alright.
and pick it up.
Okay.
Really quick, for those in the comments, like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if you think this is a bomb.
And how you pronounce brazier.
Kadem,
How do you pronounce brazier?
Sigil.
Caden.
Sigil.
picks it up with mage hand.
Okay. You pick it
And,
up with your chin?
Yeah, he's gonna look at it, and he knows it's emanating enchantment magic, is what you had said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Knowing that, he's just gonna take it and he's gonna throw it in his backpack because he's not gonna be too scared of enchantment magic at the current moment.
Okay.
And he's gonna be like, we need to get out of here now, and Orchid, do you think you can
I
open
know
up
he
this?
grabbed something.
I would say you can make up. Oh, make a perception or insight check here. I'm not sure which one you.
Going with insight.
No.
I guess at this
Not
point,
very
part
good.
it would push on
9.
the. Oh. Yes, sir.
9. Yeah, you do not understand that he has taken something. Paru,
Yeah.
you push on the door?
Yeah, basically he's going to get his staff out and just like poke at the brick that he saw Icklin play around with that caused the thing to rotate to get him back on this side of the wall.
Okay. So you're pushing it to get Icklin on this side.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's pushing it from a distance with the staff so he doesn't wind up on the other side.
Okay. It like partially rotates, and then it just kind of gets jammed at about like 4 inches of parting, so you can kind of see into the cavern beyond, and it's got this opening part way through. But it does expose the mechanism that goes up.
Can we move through it?
It's 4 inches of space. You can't quite move through it. You've got to figure out how to open it on your own.
Get away from the door.
Can I hear him?
Yeah.
I walked
it's open.
over.
Yeah, it's open. You can vaguely hear. You could even, I mean, honestly, if you were shouting from the other side, they could hear you too. But yeah, you make your way over to the door. What are you doing, Kadem?
I am going to cast Shatter Dagger at the mechanism and try to just break it, so that way we can
Just freely
open the
move it?
door.
Okay, why
Yeah.
don't you also give me an investigation check to try to pinpoint the best place in this mechanism to
I'm
attack.
going. I'm going.
26.
Okay, does Shatter Dagger require an attack, or is it a saving throw?
Yes.
Okay, make
It
your
does
attack
require
roll.
an attack.
You do get advantage because of your investigation check.
Right, I like to declare this before he destroys the blow up of things. I will step back, but I will grab the fake vampire corpse
Okay.
with myself and step back.
Okay.
Because apparently I'm not getting any research, so I'll take this body.
You grab the vampiric body and kind of move it away.
Put that quote on a t-shirt.
That is a 21 to hit.
All right, 21 to hit. You shoot the spell. Do you want to describe your spell cast for us?
Basically, you see him take a small, like a ball bearing, basically, and he casts the magic over it, and as he does, it almost transmutes into a blade, and
Okay.
he throws that out,
Excellent.
and then it just erupts in arcane energy once
Awesome.
it lands.
Yeah, you throw the dagger up into the space, and you can hear the wood and the metal crackling and splintering and as things just collapse in on each other. And you seem to have hit a part that has completely not only just like severed the connection of the wall with the machine, but you've caused the machine to basically just ram itself into a bundled mess that doesn't interfere with anything that you're doing below. You hear this clattering of a ball bearing as tink, 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 and just rests at the bottom after the casting. You are now able to move the door freely. I need everybody to make a Constitution save except for Icklin.
Hey, it's actually pretty good. 18.
Okay. It's a
17.
higher DC. Orchid? 5. Okay. Orchid. You take 1 fire damage as the fire just kind of like it just licks along the side of your arm, slightly burning you. However, you guys are able to move the door around. What would you guys like to do here?
Is there a passageway
We are
leading out?
bolting out.
Okay. There is a passageway back kind of behind the way, but it will require 1 more save before you get out, or you can open this door and go down this hallway.
Haru will. Haru's going to start moving down the hallway that Icklin was in.
Okay. Awesome.
I will follow.
Go where they're going because I can't see what options we have.
Okay. Awesome. You guys make your way into the cavern there, and you see Maximilian kind of puppeteering almost, Antoine. You can see there's like some amount of ethereal, the crosswoods that are kind of like in his hands. He's kind of using as a way to like move Antoine along, but otherwise Antoine looks like he's just fallen asleep almost, like he's just lost consciousness.
Does it continue to lead out this way?
Sorry?
And the passageway continues to lead out. It's not like it's not a dead end or anything, at least as far as we've gone.
Yeah, it just continues downwards, onwards. How long do you go for?
Well, probably until at least the room that's on, or the lab that's on fire is kind of off in the distance, and we might just hear the fire going and maybe see the light, but not where we're in total darkness. Yeah.
As you guys kind of continue to travel down, Maximilian pushes that door shut so that the fire can't get through the gaps at all. As you make your way down and downwards, you go for 5 minutes. Continue walking. 10 minutes. It starts to get a little steeper going down. 20 minutes. 30 minutes. Trudging along, you all start to get a little tired, as you've had quite the day, but should you persist, we shall continue. Would you guys like to take a short rest here, or would you like to do something else?
Nope. Keep going.
We're gonna continue.
Okay. You keep continuing downwards. It's at this point that the orb that you took, Caden, begins to kind of vibrate and shimmer. And you can feel it, but nobody else can. Iklin, with the body that you are carrying, you notice that the eyes turn to slits.
Do I know
at
that
this
he's
time.
carrying this body?
I mean, it probably would have been mentioned. It would be mentioned, and you got like a little electromagnetic sense thing. I don't think he was. It's not
If
very
it was
easy to hurt him
mentioned-
already.
There would have been an argument.
Okay.
So we should probably play out said argument then.
All right.
Yeah, part of just assumed that he was trying to be alive. So yeah, he wouldn't have mentioned.
Who's the person who points it out?
Kadam will.
All right.
I don't think you should be bringing a vampire outside.
It's not real.
It's not?
No.
What do you have?
Oh, I have a body.
Body, leave that behind.
No, I
It's a
need it.
crypt.
Yes.
No, leave it behind.
I should really take it with us.
No, you should really leave it behind.
Listen, we're on a mission from up above, right? To destroy these bracelets. What type of proof did you bring? I have a body. I can claim that we killed the person, right? We killed the person responsible, right? There you go.
No, you're not going to desecrate a body and take it out of the crypt. No,
It's not
leave
even
it.
a real body.
How is it not a real
Plus-
body? Is it a mannequin?
It has no blood. It's basically an Eris viscus on the inside. It's nothing.
It
Plus,
still
I
was
don't want
a
to say that we
person.
killed someone.
Why not?
Leave it.
No.
Why are you so fascinated with all these different forms of bodies and everything in the first place?
I'm
You
not.
didn't want to touch this thing until you figured out it was vampiric.
Shut up, Kadam.
What did I do?
Why do I need to leave it?
Iklin,
Yes.
leave it. Don't desecrate someone's body.
It's not a real body.
How is it not a real body?
It has
It's
no
not a mannequin.
Look, I'll take a dagger and I'll cut open its belly. I cut it
real?
open its gut.
As you drag, I mean, she can't see it, but
I'm
you do drag the dagger through the stomach, and the skin kind of parts open, and like inside there are organs that seem to be slightly moving and shuddering, but
I
it's
try to hit him.
very weird. Okay, go for a hit.
I
Make an attack.
wanna stop him from fucking with somebody's body.
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
That is a 23.
23. You definitely hit.
8 lightning.
8 lightning damage to you, Iklin.
Stop it, Iklin.
Ow!
Yeah, I thought you were taking him out to
listen.
rescue him.
Hold on. Hold on, the organs are moving. It might not be dead. Give me a second. I'll put it back on the ground.
You put it back on the
Mine
ground.
must-
I imagine like the eye cut that you've almost made, because I don't imagine you just going I imagine you being like slit
Yep.
to kind of like look inside, and you guys can see that there's this like almost light effervescing blood, like white blood that's just kind of pouring from the hole, but it's not pouring in a way that it would normally, at least to those of you that can see it. You can kind of smell this almost like decayed stench as this happens, Orchid.
This thing was definitely a body.
This thing definitely tried to eat me, but
Hold on. And then you see Iklin pull gloves out of nowhere.
Are you doing an autopsy on someone who's clearly already been embalmed?
What's an autopsy?
Iklin, what are
Really?
you doing?
I'm making sure that this thing doesn't get up and follow us. I'm gonna rip open the chest.
Iklin!
Paru is going at this point. Paru is going to try to like wrestle Iklin off of him.
Excuse me? I am making sure this thing doesn't follow us.
Make an athletics check, Paru. Do you want to do a beast shape here?
Yeah. Why don't you make a contesting athletics check against Iklin?
He's just beast shape takes time to do, and he's trying to do it instinctively. So
Okay, that's fair.
We'll
That's
just
fair.
do
Athletics.
14.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Alright.
I rolled
Paru.
a 2.
You got lucky. That's what happened.
Paru, you catch him off guard. You kind of swipe with your feline agility, stick your leg under his, and you're able to kind of push him over onto the ground. And in a swift motion, you're able to kind of like put him into a little bit of a half Nelson and kind of flip him over.
Yep.
Iklin looks confused. Paru, let go of me.
Kadam is.
Body.
I'm
If
getting.
you didn't want him to follow us, you would have let him go.
I didn't know that this thing was still alive.
Kadam casts fusion on Iklin's clothing, so he is at least somewhat pinned to the ground.
Oh, you fuse his clothing to the ground underneath of him?
Yeah,
Okay, does that require a saving throw? I think it does.
no,
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay.
no.
I think it's just it's an athletics check against your DC to get out,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it
Yeah, that's
is.
what it is. Okay. So yeah,
Well, or it just breaks the material.
true, right.
I am sorry. I know Orchid's your friend, and I trust Orchid, but you were either going to leave him behind because you didn't want him to hurt us, or you leave him behind because you thought he was a body that stays in the crypt. There is no reason to take him, and no
Fine.
reason to.
By all means, crush the heart yourself.
As you guys are doing all of this, you see where Iklin like pulled open the chest, and like you heard the like cracking of the ribs. Like the ribs kind of start to like and everything kind of starts to reattach itself.
I'm getting this strange idea that crushing the heart isn't gonna kill it.
To do anything to it. We don't know that it even wanted to be this. It was trying to help us.
Was this what was in your vision?
I said. No one listens to me.
I apologize. I was looking at the notes, I think, when you and Paru were discussing it.
Yeah, I think you just told me your kid. But all that being said, I'm not happy this thing tried to eat me, but I don't feel right trying to kill him when he has done nothing to us.
I think we need to let him live, Iklin.
Fine. By all means. Let it live.
Just to Paru finally lets go of Iklin and just kind of, he's no longer trying to hold him back after he says that. He says, so you were intending to carry it outside of the crypt, tell people that we killed it, and use that as evidence that we destroyed the lab?
Yes.
Why would you want
Insight check.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I would. May I do an insight check as well?
Yeah, go for
That's
it.
pretty good, actually. That's really good. Oh, man.
23.
Insight? 21.
Do I need to roll deception?
Yes.
Okay.
Contesting rolls, man. That's how it works.
Natural 20.
For a...
Four.
Or a 19, yeah.
You guys are both really torn for a moment and just staring at him, not sure whether to believe him. I'm gonna have both of you roll a house roll.
Me?
No, Paru and Caleb, because both you guys got a 21, right?
I
Paru
had a
got
21.
23.
21 and a 23 for Paru? Okay.
Got a 4.
I got a 9.
Okay,
Or-
Paru.
Yeah, 9, I think.
Kadam, you think, as weird as Iklin is, he might be telling the truth, but Paru, no. He's shifty. He's real shifty.
That makes no sense, Iklin. Why would you willingly implicate us in a murder, and why would a body just be evidence that we destroyed a lab anyways?
I don't see you bringing any research out. Here's something that was in the lab. Now it's not in the lab.
But why are we telling anyone we destroyed a lab anyways?
Weren't we not supposed to go follow the magical trail? And figure out where these bracelets were coming from? Get rid of the problem?
And we did, for ourselves, for Christy, for anyone else who may have been manipulated. We weren't doing this for glory or for recognition.
We were somewhat...
Oh, I'm sorry, but I thought we were trying to clear your name. Because as far as I know, the trial was postponed due to lack of evidence. You're still under suspicion.
And you thought that alleviating that suspicion would involve bringing a corpse and say that I was involved in its murder.
This thing is clearly not natural.
Rephrase. It's not just a corpse. You thought bringing a vampire into a populated area would somehow alleviate this.
I thought bringing a dead vampire into a populated area.
How do you kill a vampire?
Well, I don't know, but it's obviously healing now. So, if we're going to go, let's go. But if you'd like to hear the sounds of screaming children later...
Speaking of which,
Dare you put that on me?
I'm sorry?
Said, how dare you put that on us? Just
Oh,
because we choose not to kill a creature doesn't mean it's going to go out and kill children.
To kill a monster!
We understand it's a monster, but we also can't kill it. Physically, we cannot. You do not know how to kill it, we do not know how to kill it, and it definitely cannot be killed just by stabbing it. So what are you even
We get to
arguing?
define what a monster is.
I know what a monster is.
What is a monster, Eklund?
Eklund gets really quiet.
Just because we do not know its place in its environment and this world doesn't mean that it doesn't belong. We just don't know where he belongs yet.
Also, Orchid said this thing told us where the lab was and how to destroy the things in it. I mean, there's something more here than just a monster.
A monster isn't a race.
Can Paru inspect the body and see what is causing this catatonia, this catatonic state?
sure, make an investigation check.
Would be investigation or medicine?
You can use either.
Just out of curiosity, just an idle question to ask. Did we notice Iklin having an empty jar at all, out of curiosity?
I feel like Eklund probably stashed it away.
Probably put the jar back.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I got a 6, so I can't. I'm sure he can figure that out.
Okay. You got a 6. Whatever is happening here as you watch the body stitch itself back together is not a science or a magic that you are at all familiar with. It's very overwhelming. Maybe, however, you do think maybe Katara and Liam might have something to say about it.
Well, if we're going to go, would you mind letting me off the floor?
Oh, yes, sorry. And I wave my hand and the fusion ends. You can actually get up now.
Can't rip the crop top vest. Can't do it.
Orchid, if this thing is still alive, do you think it makes sense to possibly bring it up with us and maybe we can find out what went wrong with it? Because maybe if it helped us find the lab, maybe it can help us with other things. But if you feel that it should just stay here in the crypt, then I will listen.
Leave it. It's been able to communicate with me otherwise. If
Very
it has
well.
anything to say, it will tell me.
Very well.
I'll leave it. Orchid, if it hurts you, I will not hesitate to kill it.
Let us get out of here before the dead start to rise.
If anything, at least it's far enough away from the fire where he won't get harmed anymore.
Let's go.
Okay. Are you guys continuing down, or are you returning back?
We have to continue down. It's the only way forward.
Yeah, assuming there's only one way to go, assuming the fire's still burning.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You all continue down the path, walking for another 15 minutes, 30. 2 hours pass.
Wow.
I'm assuming it's probably an angry silence from many parties.
More brooding
Um,
and reflective.
this deep within, you find that Antoine awakes. He kind of looks oddly and just continues on. Let's go ahead and take this moment to take a break. And we'll be back here shortly.
All right.
And we're back!
Welcome back, everyone.
Alright, so we continue the adventure. As
This
you
adventure
all-
brought to you by
No.
knives. Great for
Alright.
cutting open bodies.
We're done. Okay. So,
And committing crimes.
as you all continue down, where were we at? Was
A
it
hallway.
2 hours.
Yeah,
2
2
hours
hours.
from
That's
the
right.
road
Thank you. Finally, you kind of crest this archway that looks a little bit more constructed, and immediately stretching out before you is just what looks like kind of like an underground version of the Grand Canyon, and you're at the base. You're just looking out, and you can see just cliffs pulling over you, and it would be completely dark except for the fact that there are numerous luminescent mushrooms and gems that are just kind of poking out from the earth. You're just looking around, and there is something very different, something very off about this space.
What
I think
are we
we've-
stopping?
I think we've gone the wrong way.
We seem to be very far underground.
Instead of light, we seem to have traveled 2 miles below, 2 hours at least, downward, consistently, and there is now a giant cavern, all underground.
Well,
Right.
this seemed to be the best way, considering we couldn't get out when we first arrived in this room with that door that Icklin pretended to fall through.
I'm sorry?
You
Oh yeah, I low-key forgot you're the only one who knew.
That's the wrong. Oh well.
So,
well, I mean, part of went in there because he believed him, but I think that afterwards it was established that he pretended to fall through. Or did I misunderstand how that interaction went?
I knew at least one person knew I pretended. I don't remember. I knew it was one person. I don't remember who it was.
Wasn't me.
so either we continue our way through a cavern that we have no idea about, or we turn around and head at least towards a direction that we at least have some clue about.
Can we see any light up, Cal?
You see like the light from the gemstones and the luminescence, but nothing other than that. You do hear far off in the distance there is a waterfall, seemingly underground, that just flows.
We could follow the sound of water.
If nothing else, we could rest by the waterfall.
It's possible, but let's face it, I think we'd be better off resting in here. We know it's safe at the very least. We don't know what's out there. This is clearly a very different place than I think any of us are accustomed to.
I don't suspect I don't suspect water underground would be poisonous. I don't know.
As you're talking, I would like everybody to make a perception check, actually.
This one.
Oh, she's so cute. Perched behind your head.
13.
16.
4.
Gracie.
She has gracied us with her presence.
Yes, Gracie, hello.
I was rolling hot, like for most of the
Okay.
night, and then it went downhill since I got.
Who got above a 15?
Dude, I swear I'm cursed. I swear.
Anyone with a
I'm
15
nearly
or higher?
cursed.
Or got 16.
16. Okay, Paru. What languages do you know?
Oh, not much. Crit, Zet, and Druidic.
Okay, you hear a language that you can't quite discern of just multiple voices. With your 16, probably around like 5 to 6. That seem to be coming around the corner of one of these kind of cliff sides that just kind of merges with the ground around you. What do you want to do here?
Paru will quickly say in a hushed voice, get back, hide.
Is there anywhere for me to hide?
I mean, there are crevices and spaces where you guys can take,
Yeah.
take a place and hide.
Yeah, I mean, we did travel 2 hours down this cavern to eventually reach this, so we could move a couple moments back.
I will hide.
All right, everyone make a stealth check.
Oh boy.
Natural 20 for a 29.
5.
Paru?
13.
13? Orchid?
8.
8. Kadem, as you kind of pull pull back into the shadows, you realize that Orchid, in perhaps a moment of blindness, is not able to quite find a good space to hide, and you find that Iklin is just not finding a crevice large enough to house his muscular, enormous body. You can choose to help one of them. Who do you choose?
How big is this entryway that's leading out into this cabin?
I mean, it's only like 5 feet across and maybe like 7 to 8 feet tall.
I will cast. Let me double check this real quick to get dimension.
You guys are not in that entryway, by the way. You guys are out in the crevices that are actually probably better hiding places anyways.
Okay, so we're not in the entryway, we're out by
No.
the crevices.
Yeah.
I will make it so that way right where Orchid is standing is a stalagmite coming out of the ground.
Just an illusory stalagmite lands just perfectly to obscure Orchid. As the voices come around and get a little louder, Iklin, you're able to understand the voices.
Woo!
They're speaking Draconic. And as they kind of round the corner, you see what looks to be a band of 5 or 6 green-scaled kobolds just coming around. Ah! They immediately look over. They look at you and like immediately start drawing crossbows and kind of aim and say, "What are you doing here?"
I got lost.
Make a persuasion check or deception check.
I mean, we kind of did, so
Well, that's fair.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
either.
particularly matter. Yeah.
Persuasion versus it's what's the same. 17. Okay.
This guy has scales.
And I
Should we
speak your
listen to him?
language.
Hey, we're not talking to you.
Should we? What do you think? And they just kind of like whisper amongst themselves for a while, and
I'm gonna,
finally,
I'm gonna try some Goliath dance language real quick, see if they respond to that.
describe this Goliath dance language for me.
I'm gonna do like a wiggle of the chest, slap my hands together, and like shake to the right, just like lift elbow and shake right hand like jazz hands, and then pause.
All right. They kind of look at you like,
No? Okay.
He's an idiot. And like the one kind of comes forward and is like, very well, White Scaler. What are you doing down here? This is our turf. For our lady.
Who's your lady?
Like you don't know.
I don't.
The Poison Mother.
The Poison Mother.
The Green Killer.
The Green Killer.
The
Do I know
murderer of forests. Like,
Do I know anything?
make a history check.
Yes. Keep giving me illusions as I'm trying to. 4. Gosh dang
None
it.
of this really make sense. Perhaps
The Poison.
A new meal for our master, our mistress.
Oh. You're going to take me to be a meal.
We can take you with, well, just one of us. I bet.
Really? How so? I'm not threatening, of course. I'm just curious. You seem like capable individuals.
We
I'd like to hear how you'll do it.
Our
How
lady
would you take me down?
has imbued us with power beyond all that you can imagine.
Oh, poison?
And,
Poison power.
Yes, we get larger when we growl.
Oh. So you're not going to poison me?
Now we're going to take you to our mistress if we don't like you.
But we're
And
having
feed
such
you to her ourselves. We shall be given more power.
we're having such delightful conversation, though. And when is the last time you met a stranger who could speak to you in the way that we are now?
You can see there's like a mixture of responses here, and one of them's like, "Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea." And like there's some who are like just staring at you, and some who are like, "Oh, maybe this is a good idea." Make a persuasion check.
This is all happening in Draconic, correct?
Yes.
Yep. $15.
15. Okay.
RNG, Jesus be with me.
15.
All right. I suppose we have use for another strong man.
Hold on. Use? I'm just passing through. I'm trying to get back.
Oh, you know this is the mistress's territory. You gotta serve her somehow. We can't let you get by.
Well, I'm just trying to get back to the surface.
Nah, we need a service.
Well, maybe something could happen. But have you perhaps seen a very pale humanoid male come through here?
No. Why would there be a humanoid male?
Because he came through that hallway. And I'll point back towards the door. Are you aware of that hallway?
You're a Ghost Scout.
And you can see one of the other kobolds kind of takes off their coat and kind of like wraps it around, ties it with the sleeves around their waist, and you see wings are unfurled and they just fly into the air and just kind of glide around the canyons out of sight.
We're checking on it.
So you don't know about the door?
Yeah. Those who wander down typically, don't spark our interest.
I would like everybody else to make a stealth check to try and continue remaining concealed.
I'm sorry, guys.
I am sorry.
18 for me.
Oh, you do have advantage because of the stalagmite that Kaden is using for you. Haru?
8.
8.
16.
Okay. Kadem and the two of you make your way out. However, Aparu, in perhaps a little eagerness tipping forward, you find yourself stumbling a little bit into view. Hey! They all draw. Who's this?
Hold on. That is my pet.
Paru will quickly shapeshift into a wolf.
Are you trying to do so as you fall out so that they only see the wolf? Or are you doing this like, hi, wolf?
Well, since... Oh, wait, actually...
Do you speak Draconic?
Nah, you know, never mind. I don't do any of that. He just falls. I forgot. He's saying this in Draconic, so he doesn't know what...
Hold on. That is my pet.
Make a deception check. Is he your seeing eye tabaxi?
0! I rolled a 0.
Immediately, 3 crossbow shoot off towards Paru. You are on the ground, so they do all have disadvantage. That is going to be a... that's a natural 3. That's better. That is going to be a 15. And wow, that's a natural 1. You watch as...
He doesn't have his shield equipped, so the 15 hits.
Okay, awesome. The 3 of them all shoot off towards each other. However, one of them kind of like trips on the other, who just shoots it into the air, fires up. The other one kind of, in a moment of confusion, looks over towards them and accidentally points their trigger at their friend, shooting them.
I'll step in front of Paru. I'm like, hold on, hold.
Okay. You can make a dexterity saving throw to take the hit instead of him if you want.
Yeah, why not? Natural 20, 21.
Okay.
Nice.
That's going to be 7 piercing damage from the bolt to you.
Ow.
The other one is gonna hit the other, and immediately you watch as the one who like triggered up shot up, and the one that shot it like it sticks in their neck, and they just fall to the ground dead. Ah! Immediately.
Oh my. Oh, are you okay?
Jamira's dead. No, not quite. Pulse is still there. Anybody a healer? Anyone?
Hold on.
Haru
Let me go see. One moment. All right. I'm gonna walk over there, and I'm like, all right, don't freak out. And I'm gonna pull out a box. I'm gonna pull out some equipment, and I'm gonna do some medicine check. I'm gonna try to stabilize this guy who just got shot in the back, I guess.
Okay.
We'll go use my biochem kit.
Okay, go for it.
I'll take out a giant needle.
Okay.
12.
Don't freak out as he pulls out a giant needle.
As you can see, there's a combination of fear. One of them is just stunned in silence. The other ones actually kind of like look around and look at you like, what are you doing? This is interesting. They'll kind of take this disposition looking.
I stick him. And I do a thing.
Okay. You notice that immediately as soon as you inject the serum, the wound in the neck, like some force pushes the bolt out of their neck, and you see that it like begins to stitch itself together. The skin like folding and scales regrowing in a moment.
Hail the mistress! Hail!
That wasn't... So
Haru's
am I...
remaining proud. Sorry.
So am I in your good graces now?
Your service has been provided.
Oh, so you'll show me a way out?
No, but you can leave us.
I can leave you.
Yes.
You're not going to bother me?
No.
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 Or my pet.
Your pet's fine.
Okay. So, now I need a little bit of rest. I'm planning on going to, I hear a waterfall. I'm planning on going there. Is that a safe place for me to rest for a while?
You can meet the mistress.
at the waterfall.
We will tell her you've provided a service.
Right.
Yes, come, friend! Friend of the mistress, come!
You know, I think I will. And I'm going to say Paru in crits and see if they if the kobolds understand what I'm saying.
Okay, what do you say? What do you say to Paru?
I'm gonna say, Paru, stay where you are. I will be gone for a little bit. I'm sure that you'll be able to find rest and shelter as I'm away. Don't do anything crazy. And then I'm like, right, so we're going to meet the mistress, yes?
Yes, yes, mistress, come!
All right. I'll walk away with the kobolds, leading them away from the party.
Okay. Does anyone try to stealthily follow behind?
No?
No.
I don't even know where I'm going.
I guess
Yeah,
I will
Paru-
follow. I will follow from a distance, I guess.
Antoine is gonna stick with the party, not sneaking. As you all are going, you realize that there is one in particular kobold, perhaps the more angular features, that just is paying more attention to you, Iklin. Long, short-ish walk of about 4 minutes through the winding caverns. You find yourself climbing a spiral up to this waterfall that you realize is very, very close to where you were. Pardon me. As you do so, you realize that the veil almost forms like a curtain. And behind you can see a green dragon just sitting there, just lounging on the rocks.
Oh!
You've brought me a meal. Yes. Smells of my brethren.
How old is this dragon?
You would have advantage on understanding. So go ahead and give me, we'll say it's a history check, a research check at advantage.
9. I rolled a natural 1 for my other one, so 9.
Dragon ages are weird. And technically, dragon ages are not super obvious, depending on the type of dragon. You've studied so many types, you know, they're just not coming to your brain right now. But this one looks to be probably, you know, probably a wingspan of maybe like 50 feet.
5-0?
50, yep.
So...
Head to tail is probably similar, maybe a little shorter.
This is a female dragon, correct?
Yes. Stop staring, you're pitiful.
Pitiful. Well, perhaps I am pitiful, but you are magnificent. Look at you.
He thinks flattery won't work.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, are you the one who laid the eggs in the Warlands?
What do you know of my nest? You can see immediately her demeanor changes, and she crawls through, water splashing through as she just arcs her way. And as she does, you realize this green dragon is different. Some of the scales are black, and you can see where some of the veins on the underbelly are exposed, where this necrotic energy has just stricken through her. Her eyes are a vibrant purple. Yes.
Lucky guess. Let's just say someone told me a rumor. And you're the only green dragon I've seen in the area. But you don't look well. You look sick. And especially for a green dragon. Sick is...
Do not
believe-
insult me. Do not mistake your place.
Of course. Of course. I'll slightly bow my head.
She looks to the kobolds that have presented you, and they make a quick case of he has provided a service. That's all they tell her. And they quickly scurry off in fear. Tell me, Icklin, how are you?
How do you know my name?
I know many things. Access to much information, you might say.
Oh. Similar to myself?
I have a feeling our interests can align for a present moment. And she just thuds her elbows on the ground and like kind of rests her head in her claws, which is still like 15 feet in the air, but she just kind of puts her toothy maw within maybe 5 feet of your body. You can smell the stench reeking of poisonous fumes from it.
Delicious.
You seek control. Yes, you seek other draconic beings, right? Tell
Of
me
course.
I'm wrong. No, I never am.
You seem to know an awful lot about what I'm seeking.
I do.
Do you know- And do you know my purpose?
Not as much. However, I would like to redirect you to another dragon. Perhaps one younger and more your speed.
Well, I never intended to lock talons with you, so
Don't worry. I know one day we will face off. You just have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Alright, just really just real quick, out of character. Like, oh my gosh!
This is like the guy who walks up, yeah, I'm totally prepared for this. I got this. Gets into the real situation.
Oh my gosh, guys!
I'm so glad that Paru and Orchid decide to stay back.
Okay, back into it.
Before we go back into that, while I have this interjection, how much of this conversation am I hearing?
Oh, you hear all of it.
It's in Draconic, right?
It's not Draconic. She has
Oh.
spoken to you in crits. She does not want to be understood by the kobolds. So,
What's his stealth check?
what is your stealth check?
My stealth check, I believe, was a 18, I believe.
You're fine.
Frick.
9 plus 9.
I was looking my passive perception, which is a 12. So
Very well. Do we have a deal? And she breathes heavily into your face.
the deal for what? You just said you direct me towards a different
I will
direction.
tell you 3 dragon nests that you can chase that will not be mine. You will leave my children unharmed. Understood?
Mm. Well,
I
Dragon
do.
net,
Yes.
you do?
What?
I don't know, you said I do.
I was saying something else and you interrupted.
I'm very sorry.
Good. Perhaps we can get along. her toothy maw just grinning atrociously.
Toothy maw.
Well, that's all you want? For me to leave your nest alone? And by giving me the location of 3 others? Are you that threatened by me? Or my organization?
Oh, you could say I'm so threatened by you.
Well, obviously not me, but the others, perhaps.
Listen, do you think you're the first Drake to make your way to my little neck of the cavern?
I have no idea. I am just chasing a vampire.
Lovely. I can smell the stench of the one you left in the passway. It's familiar. Unpleasant,
Oh.
even.
Do you know if he's come through here before?
No. More kindred. Not kindred, wrong word. Just that we have similar essences.
Oh. Are you cursed? You seem unwell.
There is, unfortunately, a conflict I'm involved in. Are you saying you wish to provide a service?
Perhaps, if you make it worth my while.
Love, I have all of this and more. And she opens up her wings and uses it to kind of like just block the water, and it just immediately turns into a light mist that you can see into her treasure hoard, which is just piled numerous objects of wealth, and slowly brings the wing back down. Yes.
Well, that is most intriguing.
You can take whatever you can fit in your hands, should you assist me.
In addition, I would have another request.
Of course.
I shall leave your nest alone. I shall assist you. And I request, in addition to your over-generous reward, that you, being so great, strong, and powerful, would allow me to have a sample of your blood.
You can see her demeanor changes to one of immediate distaste.
You know my purpose, and you are clearly a being of superiority.
She blinks and very obviously feigns that your flattery has affected her. She's pretending like it means something. And she says, "Blood from my veins you shall have." And she lays out her gigantic arm beside you. Take a sample, darling.
She gonna kill me.
You're dead the moment you walked into that waterfall.
A sample. Of course. This may, prick a bit. I'll pull out the big syringe.
Alright.
When we find out she's afraid of needles.
I'll get some blood.
Okay, you stick the needle in. No reaction. Was that supposed to be painful?
Well, that's always good to apologize before you. Well, I'm sure you understand.
You can see her calculating eyes as the intelligence behind them. You can almost see her calculating, and she just says, "You have your sample." As you put it away, and as soon as you do, she says, "This hurts," and she flicks you. You're immediately dropped to 1 hit point.
Ah! Okay! She just did 40 damage.
She begins to turn around to lounge. And tell the others I said hi.
I would love to. You did not tell me how I can assist you.
She's asleep.
Okay!
You can just feel almost like an earthquake just emanating from her location. You all back at the entryway can feel this. You can hear this echoing snore as it just reverberates through the underground canyon.
I'm to slink away before he even heads back.
Yeah, Paru doesn't touch Orchid, but he basically puts his holds his arm out in front of her just in case it's enough of a vibration to cause her to lose her balance. To you know that I'm not gonna touch, but I'm hoping that whatever I do will have an effect. He's just doing that.
I'm gonna limp back down.
How long do we wait before we assume Iklin is dead?
Probably a few minutes before Iklin will. So I arrive probably not too shortly after. I guess how long will it take me to get back to them from where I was at, Cal?
I mean, if you just, you're 50 feet flying speed. I mean, you're definitely there a good minute before Iklin gets back.
Well, Kadim left too, so it's
She doesn't care about me.
right. But I don't know how long we should wait because we have no idea what's up ahead.
Arrive, and I will just land, and I will say, I could not find Iklin. I headed back once I felt that heard the ground shaking. Wanted to make sure that you were all right.
Kadim, as you fly above, you notice that as you're passing over the canyons, you can see the word Zelkergolk burned and carved into the floor.
You want to spell that for me?
I will send it to you.
And can Paru make an insight check as far as what Kadim found out? Think that he found nothing?
Oh, on the way back?
Well, Kadim said that he couldn't find Iklin. So can Paru see if that's...
Yes, please.
True?
Kadim, also give me a deception check here.
Of course. I've been rolling so high lately. That's not bad.
16.
Ooh, that's gonna be close. Deception. 15.
Okay.
Didn't see him at all?
I caught him whenever they were going down, but I did not see where they went.
So Iklin is alive.
As far as I last saw him, yes.
Did you see a way out when you were out there?
No, it's too dark, and I almost brought out my hooded lantern, but I thought better of it since there's so many kobolds flying around. We should wait a moment. But if not, I at least know the path, at least, that we can take to check on it.
The path to check on Icarus.
I saw the path that they wound down to. It looked like they might have been heading, by the sound of it, towards the waterfall.
Ah.
At this point, Iklin kind of stumbles back into view for the rest of you.
Iklin is limping and in very bad shape.
Did the earthquake get you?
No, not an earthquake. A dragon.
Are
A
you okay?
dragon?
A dragon.
Underground.
Yes.
How big?
It's at least a 50-foot wingspan.
Kadim, how did you not see a 50-foot dragon?
Like I said, it's dark and there was a waterfall. I couldn't go through the water.
Oh, and by the way, she says hi. She can smell all of you.
That is... well, I guess first of all, Paru will cast, Healing Word at, well, he'll cast Healing Word at second level to basically bring his vitality down to 1. And he'll cast that on Iklin.
Alright. You do so. Go ahead and roll your healing.
So,
Each total.
I am guessing down is not an option we can take.
Well, we're already down. I don't know how else we're gonna get out of here besides forward.
Well, we could just head back,
And go where?
see if the room's still on fire. Can't imagine it can burn forever.
Well, you never
But
know
that-
with magic.
But that wall that Iklin fell through, I'm retconning that. He said that Iklin pretended to fall through because I don't remember who saw it. So I'm just saying that Iklin fell through it. But that wall that Iklin fell through, we couldn't get back through.
Yes, we could. I broke the mechanism.
Really
No, when we first entered.
What?
Before we leave, I should probably tell you about this dragon.
Yes.
Green dragon is afflicted by some means. And exchange for not killing all of us and offering a bit of her hoard, I need to find some way to cure her.
How was she sick?
Something I believe, I think, similar to that of our vampire friend back in the cavern.
A dragon with vampirism?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's something to do with necrotic something or another.
Dragons. Yes, that will haunt my nightmares now. That's what I needed. Okay. How about this? We get up to the surface, we have a night's rest, we have some ale, and we talk about everything that we've discovered tomorrow morning. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. I would love to get out of this hellhole.
Back
And
the way we
she-
came.
Okay.
But that wall was. But the entrance when we first got in this crypt that Iklin had fallen through, there was no way to get back. We pushed on that wall and it was just a solid wall.
Oh, while you had the door pried open, I had cast my dagger at it and it destroyed the mechanism. That wall should move somewhat freely now.
No. He means at the when we first got in here.
Oh, after that, if I remember, there was another way. There was this way that was hidden, and then there was also a second door that we could have gone through as well. Am I messing? Am I tripping here, Cal?
Are you talking about the stairway and the entry in the the very first room?
So like we entered,
Yeah.
There was the door that he fell through, and then there was a second door that we could have exited as
There
well.
was an archway that went up a stairway that was not pursued, but it did go up.
So that's what I would be.
That is a 6-hour walk at least.
So we might be spending an evening in the hallway or in the destroyed laboratory. But
I'm sorry, did the dragon say that there was a way out from here?
No. She went back to sleep. Although...
Why don't we stay with the eyeless person?
I see no problem with this.
That should be fine.
Assuming he's still there, he seemed to think that he might get teleported around, it seemed.
Well, either way, we could always stay at his locale.
Spot. I agree.
He had food.
Let's go. We will go that way. If no objection.
Not that thing. Hopefully the fire has died out in the lab.
Could we just rest for a little bit? I'm unwell.
Sure. Let's just make sure our cobbled friends don't see us.
It will be fine if they come again.
Okay. So you guys make your way back up the chamber?
No, we're gonna do a short rest first.
Short rest. Okay, go ahead and roll.
All the hit dice. All of them.
You literally got flicked by a dragon.
I know. That's better.
She calculated her damage.
That's what the intelligence behind the eyes was.
She was like, how far can I push you?
Ow.
It was her
She
version
played
of
you like a game of
non-lethal.
pool. Just figuring out just how much power she needed.
Green dragon.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure you just survived an encounter with an ancient green dragon. I'm pretty sure that thing was ancient, if at the very least adult.
Yeah. We're level 4. Gosh, Al.
That's not as bad as the level 1 characters trying to take on a werewolf.
Freaking. What's it? Ludus Lupin werewolf or whatever it is?
The
Remus.
Lugaroo.
Lugaroo.
So, with that, you all take your rest, roll up hit dice, and just to reach kind of a closing point, you guys travel back up the passageway, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
The closer you get to the vampiric person's body, you find that Antoine's body goes limp again, and he's unable to maintain any sort of consciousness. Maximilian just does the same thing he did earlier, where he kind of conjures up like these ethereal, arcane puppet strings and begins to move Antoine forward.
What's happening with Antoine?
I don't know. It's just figured I would try to help on the side.
Can Paru
I mean-
examine, find out what's wrong?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
I will as well.
If you want, I can give you advantage because my Arcana is pretty bad. I mean, it's. I'll just do the help action.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Oh shit. Okay, as you're walking along, you not only you, Kadam, having an eye for disturbances in the weave, notice that aside from the really obvious puppeteering, as you get closer to this vampiric body, there's like a dissonant energy, almost like repelling magnets. You see that the vampiric body before moved much closer to the entrance that you guys had come through when we first came through, but they are also on the ground, completely catatonic. You just sense this dissonant arcane energy between them.
Is the vampire healed?
Yeah, the vampire's completely healed. The eye cut that you had is completely stitched shut.
Oh wow, this is interesting.
No, I'm sure no bad will come of it. Let's continue.
No. I'm just explaining. Whenever Kalkine and this vampire are
Kalkine.
linked,
Anton. Last campaign.
Who is Kalkine?
sorry, slip of the
So
tongue.
they're an artist
Antoine,
institute in Tetris?
Antoine and this vampire seem to be linked magically. Their natures obstruct in the weave, and they cause each other, when in close proximity, to go unconscious. In theory, if you took Antoine away, that vampire would be conscious.
Thing we can do to break the connection?
Do I get that information out of my roll, Cal?
I
For
will
whom?
let you make, because of your natural 20, you're going to get, oh gosh, let's do a history check for this one. This is going to be history instead of Arcana, because this is more about what you've heard about and associating with what you've heard with what you have witnessed and also listened to.
That's not bad. It's an 18.
Okay. This energy reeks of fey magic. You get the hint that this is perhaps something similar to what Wilgidon had described. The curse that was placed on him. Making a lot of assumptions here, but
I'm making a few jumps here, and I'm just piecing some things together, but it's fey magic, definitely, from what I've read, and it seems that Wilgidon actually has a similar affliction as these two. Only it's just slightly different, where these two, whenever they get close, they seem to pass out, it seems. I have no idea how to break it, but it's fey in origin.
Maybe he'll know how to break it, or at
Well,
least
since-
have an idea.
He may have an idea as to how it works, but I mean, even he said he doesn't know how to break his current condition.
Well, he seemed
we
more
definitely
concerned
should-
that if he tried to,
Oh, well,
his
that's-
brother would be killed.
That's fair. That is very fair.
We should probably keep this other person alive as much as possible as well, because if anything happens to him, perhaps whatever happens to him also happens to Antoine.
Hold on, hold on. Maybe I'm making assumptions here, but I'm thinking that Miss Monica Glass is has more of an influence on these individuals, and we may be connecting beforehand. Perhaps, and it's an assumption, the current affliction of both our gnomish friend and this is due to her. And perhaps even more so with the dragon. Who knows? But I think we might have a connecting.
Everything. The fact that these two things are so close together makes me think somehow Monica Glass has to be involved. One person so close nearby who has this affliction and named Monica as a hag, and then no further than 50 feet, it seems, down the hall in a laboratory, there's a vampire who has at least the same category of affliction, but tied with Antoine. That's no coincidence.
And then the vampire has a similar affliction to the dragon.
Well, did the vampire have an affliction?
No,
I thought the vampire was just afflicted with being a vampire.
it has a similar type of thing. It's necrotic or some sort. So perhaps it might be a curse, who knows, but it might have something to do with the dragon as well. So I'm starting to think that Monica Glass might need to go.
I probably could not agree more. I am just frightened of the prospect of having to deal with someone who can do this much damage with magic. That is all. But
Then let's be smart about it.
Maximilian looks very uncomfortable this entire conversation.
we can trust you to keep your mouth shut, right?
Do you have anything to add?
I will do my best.
That's not good enough.
That's very much not good enough.
Then I suggest you take a part of me.
What?
He wants us to cut out his tongue if we don't trust him.
You'd rather not my tongue here.
Well, you said a part of you, and we also don't want you to speak, so...
He just kind of takes his thumb, and you hear this as he twists and just pops it out. No reaction of pain.
Hold on. What? Someone explain.
Parud narrates this in a very uncomfortable tone, but he wanted Orchid to understand what was happening. So you just tore off your own thumb.
Okay, first off, how does this help us? Trust you? Wrap my head around it, please.
This is a token. It will allow you a certain amount of control over me.
Absolutely not.
You control anyone.
Can't hear you.
We hear you now.
Hearing that.
Look, this will only grant you 24 hours of obedience. And because I have enchanted as such, I don't like getting involved. I don't like telling things to that terrible woman.
She has some sway over you.
Yes,
That terrible woman, you mean Monica Glass.
it's one of her names.
But I thought that you served the Emerald people.
I do. That is largely what keeps me from doing her bidding. There are enough wards around that place to keep me from her grips, so I don't like to leave.
Then we will escort you back once we get to the surface.
Wait, hold on. You were not under a state the night of.
She was trying to use me to gather information.
No. When Paru's fiance was unfortunately
Monica Glass
passed.
was in the crowd with us.
And?
Monica, you weren't on the estate that night. Was she instructing you? You tried to read all of our fortunes.
Like I said, she was trying to gather information. Kind of glad you didn't agree to it.
We are a variable. A new variable.
Did you ever take part in controlling Christu?
No. It was never something I was aware of. I just knew the vague pieces of it. When it was of interest, she used to sway over to me to help you all.
What does
Help
Wings
being
have to do
relative.
with... What does Wings have to do with this? She had several of the bracelets.
As you make your way into the laboratory, there is a burning ball of purple fire just hanging in the center of the room. Iklin, you feel particularly attuned to it.
Do I know why?
Nope. But you get the feeling it'll listen to you.
Hello?
No response. You get this hunger for a command.
Come to me.
The purple fire just floats over to you, begins to crawl around your body. You feel no heat.
As this is happening, Paru is going to start moving towards the edge of the room, and Paru will say to Orchid, Orchid, I don't know what's happening, but follow along the wall of the room, and I don't know what's happening.
Iklin,
Make a wisdom saving throw, Iklin.
Frick!
I don't know what's happening. This giant ball
18.
of fire is
18.
going all over Iklin.
It grips at your soul. But you, whatever it's trying to convince you to do, you won't have it.
I open my jar. Conceal yourself.
The purple fire flows into the jar.
Close the jar! I close the jar.
Iklin,
Yes.
How
What
big
hap-
is your bag?
what
Is it
happened
just
to
jars?
I don't.
Iklin? What happened to what was originally in that jar?
I don't know. I think it escaped.
A soul escaped.
Yes. I believe so.
How?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But
At this
you
point-
and
I put the jar inside of another jar.
As you all are sitting there with this interesting conversation, you hear footsteps casually walking to No. No, no, no! And into the room bursts Wings, and she looks at you all.
Didn't you just get arrested?
Where's Chandler?
Chandler.
I draw
Chandler?
on her.
Leia?
I draw on her. I'm just like, I thought we had a connection, Winks, but now you have to explain yourself.
And I think that's where we'll end session tonight. So, for those of you who are watching, thank you.
Thank you so
If
much.
you like it, like and subscribe down below.
Yeah, this is the one motion.
Don't forget those comments. We need those too.
Oh,
True.
I
man.
want
How
to. I
do
want
you
to talk to all you
pronounce
guys.
Brazier?
Yes.
Brazil.
Oh gosh.
I don't know what I was thinking. I know that word. It's so
Oh,
embarrassing.
gosh. It's good. It's
We're
good.
doing it live.
I mean,
Also, who still thinks the orb is a bomb? Because I do.
I do.
Did we sign off for the night?
yeah,
we
we're
sign off?
signing up. Anyways, good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.